Welcome back.
Hello.
I'm in a slightly different spot than I was the last time we were recording, but so I read this article. Good, now we're talking before we start recording, so he has a little bit of context on what this is. But I read this article in USA Today about guns, and we've had all the shootings and stuff lately. Sad, unfortunate events that have happened. But USA Today was discussing one of the types of guns that was used in a lot of in some of the shootings lately, and I'm not sure which one, if it was in relation to the Vegas shooting or the church shooting or what, because I'm just not a gun guy. I don't follow what types of guns are used in what events, but it was the AR-15, it's an assault rifle.
Right.
And it was them talking about guns and why guns are bad and why guns like this shouldn't be, necessarily owned by the average Joe person, because, the average person isn't going to have one of these, but you can get one of these if you want to, like these AR-15s. So in this article, they didn't make it clear. They did and they didn't at the same time. They made it clear that they were talking about what you could possibly do with these guns, but it also kind of gave off the impression that the shooters were using guns that had these features on them, which wasn't true. But it's not that they said, oh, this is what the shooters were using or whatever, but enough people were confused by it. But in general, they started going through some add-ons that you can have for these types of guns. And I don't know what a lot of the add-ons were. I didn't read them because I didn't actually find out about this article until it made headlines because it was so ridiculous and off the wall. I'm going to send you right now a message to what really got people going crazy about this gun. And I just want to hear your reaction when you see this image.
I have to open it on my phone here because I can't.
Oh, because you can't do it when you're recording.
Yeah. Hold on.
You are. Hopefully, this website isn't one of those ones that's gonna pull up a bunch of weird ads on your phone or something like that.
A chainsaw bayonet
with a little picture. With a picture.
While it was loading, I thought it was going to be a dildo or something, because it's just, what the fuck? Is this a real thing?
So apparently, yes, it is a real thing, which that is baffling enough. But I mean, this is where, quote unquote, fake news gets its, headlines and stuff from. It's not fake news, but the way they're putting the stuff out there, when you put out every ridiculous possibility that could possibly exist in the universe in relation to, something, horrific like one of these shootings or whatever, how do you expect to maintain credibility?
Do you see some of the other responses to them down below?
Yes, so that was where
the Velociraptor launcher,
yes.
Death Star.
One of them's like the nuke. Is that on this page? Because Twitter apparently went insane with
the World War II tank.
Yeah. There was one of them I saw, and it was like the H-bomb add-on, and it showed a little nuclear bomb
lightsaber.
The funniest one. Oh my god! Now I'm gonna find this one and try to see the
rock launcher.
If I can find
Dwayne Johnson. Wow, that's real good.
It's oh god, what was the best one? Is USA Today AR-15 add-on.
So what you're telling me, though, is that you really can put a chainsaw on an AR-15.
Apparently that is something that is a possibility.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want a chainsaw AR-15 now.
Oh god, what was the funniest one that I saw was an AR-15 with an added mini AR-15 that had a mini AR-15 that had a mini AR-15 that had a mini chainsaw bayonet. I wish I could find that picture, but I can't find it right now. But that, I mean, it's USA Today lost a lot of credibility because people were like, "What the fuck are you doing reporting on this the fact that you can have a chainsaw bayonet? Like what?"
I don't know how you could type those words and draw those pictures without laughing your ass off. Like, I don't know how they took that themselves seriously enough to even publish that. Like, were they serious?
I guess, because I think they put out an apology, but the apology was for. It said something like, "We did not mean to insinuate that the actual gun used in the shootings had a chainsaw bayonet."
Yeah, I saw that response
attached to it. But yeah, then I guess the Twitter and Reddit like took over and made that like comedy gold for which is some people might be like, "Oh, it's not a laughing matter. Like it was actually about like the terrible death and everything like that." And which yes, it was about terrible, horrible events. But at least people can laugh about the ridiculousness that some of the news outlets are going to. Because I mean. Really, do you really have credibility anymore when you're going to start talking about a chainsaw bayonet as a possibility in something that had nothing to do with the chainsaw bayonet, but just that's a possible option to get on that gun, apparently, in some world. And
it just seems so bizarre. What a bizarre thing.
And who knows if it's one of those, like, this is a standard accessory you can buy versus some random guy somewhere once upon a time,
right?
Did this random ridiculous thing, which if before the shootings, if somebody had an AR-15 with a little chainsaw bayonet on it and posted it on YouTube, I would probably watch and like that video because I thought it would be ridiculous and crazy that somebody would have the ability to build something like that and make it actually function. But
I want to see it in action.
The chainsaw bayonet. I think everybody does. It's the chainsaw bayonet. Well, so then I guess this one isn't as bad. I guess I don't know if I want to say it's not as bad because it's pretty bad. And I guess they messed up. USA messed up again afterwards, talking about AR-15s again. And tried to show the devastating force that it can have on, like...
A chainsaw bayonet can have?
No, just in general, the AR-15 without add-ons.
Oh, okay.
The devastating force it can have against people and why it should not be allowed as a gun. And they were showing this by showing it shooting a watermelon, which... People often, like, when they're talking about guns, they always shoot watermelons and stuff and try to, say that it, mimics the human, flesh or whatever in such a way, which is not, like, true per se. I've found out that there really aren't that many similarities. It just kind of looks cool and it's easily accessible and all this stuff. But
yeah,
they said this and then they had a video to show. And the video was a guy clearly shooting a shotgun at a watermelon.
God.
And not an AR-15.
Wow.
So
they really
people
just don't have their shit together, basically.
Yeah, I guess. Like, and I didn't read. Again, it was an article. I didn't read the main article. I read the article on people getting very upset with them for being wrong yet again. So who knows? Maybe the article was taken out of context because maybe it was about, like, just in general the devastation that guns can have on people, but it'd be kind of weird to be specifically talking about AR-15s and then be like, by the way, this is what a shotgun will do to a watermelon, type of deal. I really have no idea, but I've never laughed at something I probably shouldn't have laughed at so hard because it's about such a tragic event, but really?
I mean, I guess I wasn't in the context of thinking about the event when I saw that picture because all I saw was a chainsaw bayonet, and that shit's hilarious.
Chainsaw bayonet.
Can you make cracked stone?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember
you cook stone bricks? Is that how you do it?
You cook stone bricks and you put them in a 4 square. And then I think that makes the main stone. I think if you do that again, or if you stagger it some random way, I believe it makes... Why don't you use your little inventory guy, Guude?
It doesn't fucking tell me.
Are you sure? Let me see.
I tried.
Stone bricks. Oh, you're right. It just tells you stone bricks. I think it's something.
Yeah,
I think
no,
it's.
if you cook them, I just tested it.
Oh,
So
it's
if you cook,
'em. I thought it was a
Stone
crafting
brick.
recipe.
no, I did too. I tried to like double down on the 4-stack basically, and that didn't work.
Yeah, that's actually what I thought it was. I mean, who knows with the way that Minecraft works? It could have been once upon a time, and they changed it.
There's also the stone bricks that have the like little circle in the center. I don't know how the fuck to make those either.
Ooh, there you are, you little bastards.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't want you. No, no, no. Don't you come after me, you little bitch spider. I hate you.
You bitch spider.
I'm glad you're
There's
stuck in
that
the
one.
water.
Chiseled stone bricks. Okay, so it's stone slabs on top of each other make the chiseled stone bricks. My inventory is a mess.
Yeah, so is mine, but I'm caving. I got a couple diamonds, but not that many for how long I've been caving for.
You know, I mean, I kind of don't even want to talk about the shootings. It's crazy how year after year in America we have these shootings, and it doesn't
seems
feel
week
like
after week anymore. Like,
well, it doesn't feel like the biggest thing to me is it doesn't feel like anything's being done to prevent it from happening yet
well,
again.
that's
and again
because
and again.
like after the Las Vegas shooting, it wasn't the time to talk about gun control.
That's what keeps happening, and it feels like I mean, I guess I guess I really just don't even want to talk about it. But it feels like if the guy in Vegas had been a Muslim, we instantly would have gone back to travel bans, right?
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure. And Trump, thank God he wasn't, because that would have just given Trump the ability to say, "See, I was right," and everything would be like fucked right now.
I just don't understand why it's not just a gun control issue; it's also a race issue, and I don't know, it just frustrates the fuck out of me.
Well, and this is going to be a controversial thing to say. I understand to an extent why it becomes a race issue, and it's because it's not race as much as religion issue, but it ends up becoming a race issue because of that. And if you really are doing things from like the aspect of like Islam and saying that you want war for Islam, then it's kind of like one of those, well, yeah, we don't want people, if that's what they think Islam is, we don't want people who have that belief in our country who are just here because Islam says to destroy us.
Which, you know, that's radical Islam too.
Right, and then that's the thing is, but then it crosses the line to the radical, side of the world, and so I understand why it becomes that debate. It doesn't mean it's the right debate to have by any means, but of course it's always going to. I mean, like, it's putting it into like more common perspective for somebody like you or I and where we live in our areas. If you drive through an area of town that is, known to be heavy in crime and things like that, and it's predominantly black neighborhood, you probably are going to be a little bit more leery of, people who fit the stereotype of that area, who are the people who are, either the gang problems or whatnot. And it's sad, but it's true. That's just speaking like the truth.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've always said that if I had grown up in Rock Hill where I went to high school, I feel like I probably would have been more racist just because of how much it was prevalent. Like, there was a lot of racism and on both sides, and I guess it's like it was always there, and so everyone just was part of it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
no, I completely understand what you're saying. It doesn't make it right. It just is the nature of the area, and it ends up forcing like racial lines.
Yeah.
Which is weird, just because that's the society that people are growing up in, this area that has those racial lines and racial separation, so it immediately forces this racial clash when it shouldn't. So, I mean, I get it. I mean, it's the same thing. If you were the only person of color in an area of all, like, Caucasians who, were always doing terrible things like beating up anybody of color, then of course you're going to be afraid of white people in that area if you're a person of color.
Right.
It's just it's a sick society that we have made for ourselves. Is really what it comes down to. And I definitely think things have been changing for the better for many, many, many years. But then at the same time, you got these extreme issues like, radical Islam that has blurred the lines again and made people like almost revert and not think that they've reverted.
But like, weren't there always these sort of things? Like, that's not the first religion that somehow like
yes,
what
but
happened
in the past 30 years or so. I guess maybe it's been like 50 now because of airplanes have been a prevalent form of transportation for quite a long time now. 30 years doesn't, like, when I was younger, saying 30 years was a whole different connotation than saying 30 years now, because it's like 60 years almost. But it wasn't that long ago when people who were in a specific state or a specific country stayed in that state or country because they didn't have a ability and means to migrate as easily as they do now. Immigrate.
It's true.
It's a whole different landscape of the ability to do something, and then add technology to that. And it's not even that you have to live here anymore. Your coworkers could all be people from any other random country because technology has made you be able to, work with anybody from all over the world. And then people travel for work, for business, so people are constantly traveling.
Right.
Back and forth to different countries, whether they live there or not. It's just, because they can at this point, and there's a necessity too for, jobs, for anything. It's just a whole different world that we live in that makes those lines a lot more diverse at this point, I guess what it is. That's just my view of it, though. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but I feel like the same thing said should also be the type of driving force that
of why we should be getting along and not having the racial disparities anymore. I agree. we have to work with everybody that we might not have had to in the past. So if you in the past had racism in you shouldn't have it anymore because you have to work with everybody.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. It makes sense from logical people perspective. But that is the problem when it comes to politics or religion or anything like that, is logic seems to go out the window.
Yeah, that's true. Which
is so sad because it is so funny when you can talk to somebody and have a completely logical and heartfelt, like, random debate about some random topic, respect each other's opinions but want to argue your side of it, and everything is all good, and then you hit that one thing that strikes a nerve and friendship over.
I was friends with this guy for a long time, and I wasn't the one that friendship over, but he was a hardcore Republican, and it was about the time that Obama was running for president that it had to become friendship over for him because I supported Obama, and that was too much for the friendship.
He just couldn't deal with it?
Nope, he could not deal with it.
And that's the stuff that I find so, like, so crazy. I'm one of those people, though, who I will watch, Fox News every so often, to kind of catch what the other side is saying so I understand where their thought process is. Sometimes it's a little hard to still understand what their thought process is, even when you hear them say it. But to get
what they choose to cover sometimes kind of blows my mind. When, like, big shit's happening in the world and, like, it feels like all of a sudden they got the blinders on, that's the only time where I'm just like, what the hell is happening here?
Yeah, like when all the indictments came out, that just still baffles me.
They did not talk about that at all.
Well, and even if when they were specifically avoiding it, but anything that was like a Republican-based, media outlet, it was on the Democratic side. Of course, everybody was talking about how, what this showed and all these indictments of all these people in Republican in the Trump campaign and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you go over to these, the people on the far other side, and their headlines are such a big blow for the Clinton campaign and administration, and how terrible this is going to be for them. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, wait, what happened in these indictments? What did I just miss in the news that you're talking about right now? Like, sometimes when it comes out of nowhere, you're you're like, I don't understand what's happening at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess on the opposite side of it, people could probably listen to us talk about it right now and be like, man, these people, they're such fools.
Oh,
Like,
I've been told that in most of my videos. What an idiot
Well,
I am
yeah.
for things that I say.
Hey,
Some
thanks.
things I do say that are very idiotic. Sometimes it's for fun. Sometimes it is my belief that somebody might not have the same belief of. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's exactly what it is. Is people can listen to anything and spin it in a different direction. I mean, that's kind of what statistics are about. It's like you spin things. It's not supposed to be spinster, but you can really spin any. You can take any statistic that even completely proves your initial theory wrong and somehow spin it to show why your theory still could be right.
right, yeah. Some people are way better at that than others too.
Yes, some people are definitely way better at that than others, and some people are very horrible at trying, and it just makes them look like a fool for trying. But
Yeah.
I don't know, it's the way it is.
I want to use iron bars in this somewhere. I don't know where to use them.
I am so deep in this cave, and this cave is just continuing on.
So deep.
So deep. Must go deeper. Or was that the nether?
Yeah, I think that's the nether achievement. So what do you think about Minecraft? It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, Minecraft was great. It was. I watched all the things, and it was such a blow for the Democratic Party, and the Clinton campaign or something.
It hasn't happened to me.
I want to know what are they actually gonna like play
Probably Minecraft. I would, if I had to guess.
the whole time.
It's only 3 hours.
Oh, Minecon is 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
I think it's mostly announcements and stuff. There's a couple of those videos, like the one that we made for them. Which, that's only like 3 minutes of the 3 hours, I think.
How on earth are they gonna fill 3 hours with Minecraft?
So yeah, I think it's a lot of announcements and stuff. Really, it's more like a press conference, I believe, than anything.
Are they announcing anything big besides the bosses?
I don't know. It's not actually a boss, just a new mob.
Or mob.
But no, I don't actually know what. If we had gone to Sweden, I was at the Eclipse, and you didn't go. We would know, because that was what a lot of the Sweden trip was about. Was getting inside points of view before they announced Minecon Earth. So they wanted to see what content creators thought about their whole idea and stuff. So yeah, I think that would have been, we would have known better then if we had gone to that. I'm not against the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think Minecon needs to be a convention anymore. I agree with that part of it.
I kind of wanted to see Microsoft take it in a different direction of a Microsoft convention, and like kind of do what they do at E3, where they have this whole big event kind of thing that takes place, and do it as a convention. Like show off all their indie games they're doing, everything they're doing with their consoles, the PC gaming, like all of that stuff. I thought they could do that and make it a thing, but maybe that's just me.
Where did you want them to have it?
Seattle. That's just because they're in Seattle.
Yeah, they're in Seattle, but I don't know. Then you're kind of
not.
competing with PAX.
I mean, don't have it at the same time.
Oh,
They
right.
have it in the same place.
Where's E3 at? It moves,
LA.
right? Or is it? Oh, it's always in LA.
Yeah.
I think E3 would be fun to go to.
I enjoy E3. I don't know if I get to go this year or not, though, because Microsoft's PR department's been completely replaced, like with a completely different company, and so I don't know if I'll be
Apple?
invited. No, like they had a company that was here in North Carolina that did all their PR, and so I've always basically worked with them directly, and so I don't know what happens now. I don't know if I'm still invited to go to E3 by them. I don't think the chunk is loaded over here at the house, and I'm at the apartments.
I mean, is that we don't have anything really automated over there, right?
Well, I had put some stuff in a furnace, and
Oh.
so it's just not cooked, and I'm sad. I need a lot of stone, and I just don't want to sit here and chop it.
Oh, stone? Man, I've been throwing my stone away.
I should put efficiency on this pick. Efficiency 4. Let's do that.
Put some on breaking on there too.
I haven't breaking on the pick. Silk touch on breaking. All right, maybe this will speed things up with the whole stone issue.
Man, I was really hoping to find a chainsaw bayonet down here. I was really hoping to find some more diamonds, and I'm not. I'm gonna dig my way back up. I still hear zombies and stuff. I'm like in a. I found a rail, an abandoned mine shaft, and so
I was wondering where you were going with that. A rail.
I found a rail, a single rail. It was fantastic. I remember how amazing it was when they first added those mine shafts, and it was like how you could get rail in the world without having to craft it.
I remember how much I enjoyed playing this game for like 12 hours a day whenever, like, the first server, the Season 2 server.
Yeah.
Like, I remember this fucking mine shaft that I dug. Do you remember that thing where it went from, like, Spawn Town, and I had this shaft that it took, like,
Well, you did the
weeks?
one that was underwater.
Yeah, and, like, from there it went way, like, probably 10,000 blocks out to another house I'd made.
And that was back when we used to use the hopper rails, or the not the hopper rails, the minecart boosters.
Booster runes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was. I remember doing that. I remember when you one of your pranks was you made my cart go down into a big pit and maybe fight.
I
in a
forgot
cave.
about that one actually. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I used to love. Man, I remember I would be at the fire station on Wednesday nights at the time, and I would be all like antsy about getting back home because I wanted to play more Minecraft.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of that was just how new the game was, and didn't feel like you'd done everything 12 times. I think that's probably the biggest thing that's kind of killed the excitement for it all.
Yeah,
I don't think that can add anything to the game that's going to be like, man, I can't wait to play.
Well,
again.
and since that was long before like enchants and redstone and all that stuff too.
Well, there was redstone, but yeah.
Oh, you're right. There was redstone, but it was long before that. Like a lot of what you did was you made like spawners and you automated spawners and you built like long mine rails to get places so that you could actually travel back and forth. And you didn't. Do we have beds then when it started? I don't even think there were beds.
Well, there were beds, but there was something about it. Like you couldn't. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. There was always beds though.
Well, they didn't set your spawn.
I think you're right. Maybe. I don't know. The people will definitely correct us.
I just don't know. I know that for a fact in my first single player season, you had to be somewhere around your base because, make your base around spawn because you had no other choice. I remember making a terrible mistake, and I was doing something with lava around my spawn, and I spilled the lava, and then I died, and I just kept spawning in the lava.
Wow.
And there was nothing I could do except go into, and I think it was the first time I ever used MC Edit. It was to go take the lava away. No, I have no idea. Which direction are you? 1840 something and negative almost 4,000, right?
1900 negative 3500.
3,500. Going the wrong way. Excuse me.
You should come look at old Guude Tower.
Guude Tower. Oh wait. I know where I'm at. This is where I actually dug down right over here. And I just came up, like, I literally dug down on one side of a waterfall. And I just traversed the cave forever. And I just came up on the other side of the waterfall when I dug a hole up in the earth. That's kind of crazy. Hold on, I should be there shortly.
I think it looks good so far. I'm not disappointed with it. And like each floor will be a single person's home, basically.
Oh, so we each get like a loft.
Right.
Or as they would call it in Europe, a flat.
A flat, right.
I see. Nope, that's not you. Why?
How high does the world get nowadays?
I'm at negative 3,500. Am I over this mountain to the side here? Oh yeah, there we go. How tall?
Yeah.
256.
Okay, I should be able to get a room for everyone, I think.
How tall are these floors?
6, I think. We're at 91 right now. Height. I didn't actually do any math. I just kind of felt for how I felt about if I had enough room. Feels good.
Looks good. Ah, wait,
So-
do we have to take the stairs up in our rooms?
Yeah. So this is the
no,
first
no.
room.
The first floor is like a lobby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lobby. Yeah.
I thought I was they were all gonna be this layout, and like you just said
Oh,
stairs.
right.
in
Yeah,
your
just got stairs in your room.
that go upstairs.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna do like a spiral staircase basically. So each layout will be the same as this, with like the closet being under the stairs here.
Oh, so it's regulation. It's got a closet.
Mm-hmm. I imagine that people will probably put their beds over here.
Oh, I put my
This is
bed in the
windows.
closet.
We just sleep in the closet. But yeah, I'll rotate the stairs each floor basically.
No,
and then
I
keep the
like
same
it.
layout.
I might build a deck.
Oh yeah.
I guess, are we supposed to be sleeping in here, or are we sleeping elsewhere?
It's up to you. We can keep our house the Hobbit hole, or we can take the pit house or whatever. Whenever I mean, we could each have our own floor. Doesn't matter. Still got a ways to go. We gotta get a lot of stone.
I want the top floor.
Yeah. Put a helicopter pad on the top.
Oh, hell yeah. That is what I'll do.
But yeah, I guess that's it for today.
All right,
You
guys.
came and done? Do you get a lot of diamonds?
I should go drop them off. I got 4.
Oh, well, it's something. You can build some shoes.
Yep, build some shoes.
All right, everybody. See you next time.
All right, see it.